Have you ever prayed a bold prayer and then watched your life start to fall apart? You asked God to use you, and suddenly the ground beneath you shifted. You asked Him to take you deeper, and out of nowhere came the silence, the storms, the shaking. You asked for strength and were met with situations that tested every fiber of your being. It feels like everything good started unraveling the moment you said, "Lord, I surrender." And now you're wondering, was that prayer a mistake? Let me tell you something that most won't. Don't pray for purpose unless you're ready for pruning. Don't pray for breakthrough unless you're willing to be broken. Don't ask God for His will unless you're prepared to let go of your own. Because real prayers, dangerous prayers, the ones that shift your life forever, they come with a cost. And no one talks about what happens after amen. You see, we think prayer just brings comfort. We think it brings ease, blessings, peace. And it does. But not always in the way we imagine. Sometimes, prayer is the very thing that wakes up the war around you. Because when you truly pray, heaven hears it. But so does hell. When you pray, "God, use me," He doesn't hand you a spotlight. He hands you a shovel. Because the path to purpose starts with digging deep. He starts revealing what needs to go. He strips away distractions. He shakes loose the things that can't stay. That's why the moment you start getting serious about your calling, your comfort starts to disappear. You begin to feel lonely. You begin to feel pressure. Doors close. People walk away. And suddenly, you feel like God is silent. But what if that silence is sacred? What if the pruning is proof? What if the pressure is the answer to the very prayer you prayed? Because God doesn't wave a magic wand. He builds. And building takes breaking. You prayed to be more like Christ. But did you forget? Before resurrection, there was crucifixion. Before glory, there was Gethsemane. Even Jesus, in the garden, cried out, "Father, not my will, but yours." And immediately after, he was betrayed, arrested, and abandoned. That wasn't punishment. That was purpose unfolding. So why do we panic when our path includes pain? You said, "God, grow me." So He's stretching you. You said, "Use me." So He's preparing you. You said, "Lead me." So He's taking you through the wilderness where there's no maply trust. The truth is, God will often answer your deepest prayers with discomfort. Not because He wants to hurt you, but because He wants to heal what you didn't know was broken. You prayed for clarity, so He removed the voices that confused you. You prayed for peace? Oh, He disturbed the chaos you were pretending to be okay with. You prayed for love? So He showed you the things you accepted that weren't really love at all. See, we want God to change our circumstances, but sometimes He uses the circumstances to change us. So don't run from the breaking, don't curse the shaking, and don't mistake the wilderness for abandonment. If you're in a storm after you prayed, maybe the storm is the answer. Because God isn't trying to destroy you. He's trying to develop you. And you are more dangerous than you think. That's why the attacks have been so intense. That's why you feel like you're being targeted. The enemy doesn't fight people with no potential. He fights purpose. He fights the ones carrying light into dark places. He fights the ones who dare to pray, "God, send me." So if life has gotten harder since you prayed, you're not being punished. You're being positioned. God isn't done with you. He's just getting started. So yes, pray. But pray with eyes open. Pray with your armor on. Pray knowing that transformation rarely feels like triumph at first. Because when you pray, everything in your life will either eligna, be removed. And both are answers. You prayed for this. Now walk through it. Stand tall in it. Trust God in it. Don't retreat when it gets hard. Don't quit when it gets quiet, and don't doubt just because the road got dark. This is the cost of being called. This is what happens when you truly surrender. And if you're in the middle of the breaking, hold on. Because God breaks what He intends to bless. He empties what He plans to fill. He shakes what He means to strengthen. So don't be afraid of what you're walking through, because the pressure you feel is the proof of the calling you carry. Now breathe, stand, and keep praying, because what's waiting on the other side of this season will make every tear, every trial, every unanswered question worth it. If this spoke to your spirit, like the video, leave a comment, and share it with someone who needs this word today. And if you don't want to face these battles alone, subscribe for more messages like this. You're not alone, you're chosen, and help is already on the way.